me tell you about a friend. It's Craig LeBlanc where the good times never end. Talking Parks and Rec, it's a show you gotta know. Welcome one and all to the Daily Parks and Rec Show. It's the Daily Parks and Rec Show.
Who doesn't want to work for Parks and Recreation? I mean, we are the fun. You can live out every dream that you had as a child working in Parks and Recreation. You can give back to your community, whether it's an underserved community or whether it's a thriving community. You can give back. You can show up. I mean, it's just phenomenal to just come to work every day, wake up and know that you're actually changing someone's life in some way. And it could be something that's small to you, but huge to others. And so Parks and Recreation and athletics is the place to be, the place to go, the place to work.
Welcome to the Rec Room Podcast, powered by the Daily Parks and Rec Show, where we bring you the voices, stories, and vision shaping the future of our communities. In this episode, we head to Henry County, Georgia, for a powerful look inside their athletics division. You'll hear from leaders like Kevin, Jonathan, and Ayanna as they share how recreation builds confidence, keeps kids active, and creates opportunities for every player. From balancing budgets to building programs, from coaching character to creating safe spaces, this team shows us what it takes to lead with purpose. Whether it's football, softball, or new programs born from community demand, their mission is clear. Make recreation fun, accessible, and life-changing for all. This is more than sports. This is mentorship. This is legacy. Let's jump in.
We are live and JP just hopped on. How's it going, JP?
How's it going? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you great. We actually we went live like a second and then you popped up.
Wow, I just wanted to hop on and say hello. I'm in transition. I pulled over so that I could hop on.
Fantastic. Well, you're just in time to catch our first promo, which I don't think you've seen, but if you haven't, I'm going to play it. This is something that is a gift from the Daily Parks and Rec Show to the entire industry nationwide of Parks and Rec. It's just a thank you, and it's just a tool that anyone listening in Parks and Rec can use to plant a seed in young kids that may not know what they want to do with the rest of their life and haven't even considered Parks and Rec as a career path. And so we designed this so you can play it in front of some part-time seasonal workers, camp staff, or if you're ever giving a speech or something to college kids or high school kids, this can kind of help start that discussion for you. You can also find it on our YouTube channel. There's no copyright. You can claim it, plagiarize it, cut it up. It's for y'all to use, a gift from us to y'all. So we'll play this and then we'll come right back.
Every career is a choice, but few careers let you touch lives. Not once in a while, but every single day. Step into a park on a Saturday morning. You'll hear children laughing on the soccer field, families gathering for a picnic, seniors walking the trails, finding health and friendship. And behind every smile, every memory, is a Parks and Rec professional. We don't just mow fields, we grow confidence in young athletes. We don't just build playgrounds, we create safe spaces where childhood thrives. We don't just plan events, we design moments that anchor generations. Think of the coach who teaches patience, the director who champions equity, the staff member who sees potential in a child no one else believed in. Every day, Parks and Rec professionals shape character, preserve beauty, and strengthen community. And the path isn't easy. Budgets are tight, resources stretched thin, but the reward, unmatched. Because what you give comes back in legacy, in healthier communities, in lives forever changed. So why dedicate your life to Parks and Recreation? Because here, your work never ends. It lives on, in laughter echoing across playgrounds, in in green spaces preserved for the next century, in the young professionals rising to lead tomorrow. This is not just a career, it's a calling, it's a legacy, it's Parks and Recreation. A message from the Parks and Rec community.
So how do we do, JP?
That was awesome. I saw guys in there. That was great.
I love it.
We
We had Brian.
appreciate that.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so y'all are free to use that and just to promote the industry in general so we can raise awareness that this is absolutely a career that is just JP, why don't you give a testimony to this industry and what it's meant to you before we move on to our next thing?
Man, I mean, it's my whole life. Ever since I got out of college, that's all I've done is Parks and Recreation. But even before then, like I was the kid that grew up in Parks and Recreation, and then as a teenager, I worked as a counselor in Parks and Recreation. So this has been a part of my life since I could remember, since I was able to hold a ball and run with it or hit a baseball. Like I've been involved in Parks and Recreation, and it's shaped me into the person that I am today. People don't understand how much team sports and then just having a loving, caring environment that you get in Parks and Recreation, it does for a kid.
Fantastic. That's a great testimony there. Okay, so if you would like to help us co-create this, we are now accepting strategic partners that this is the industry that they operate in, that they help to bring all the assets and all the skills and know-how, third parties, vendors that want to help us co-create the Daily Parks and Rec show and the entire media company for Parks and Rec. Hit me up on LinkedIn, and then here's our last promo before we get the start going on how you can participate and how that works. So we'll play this, and then we'll come back with the Rec Room.
At DPRS Media Co., we believe Parks and Recreation isn't just a service, it's the heartbeat of our communities. We exist to honor the people, the vendors, and the leaders shaping the future of Parks and Rec. Our mission is simple: to tell their stories, highlight their careers, and celebrate their essential work. Our vision is bold: to be the trusted hub where leaders, vendors, and communities unite, inspiring innovation, sharing wisdom, and building a stronger, healthier nation. Through over 220 live shows and 6 weekly series, the Leadership Series, Facility Maintenance, Young Professionals Network, Youth Sports Mastery, the Rec Room, and Growing Leaders, plus our industry-leading newsletter, the weekly Parks and Rec Post, we're building a media platform made for the Parks and Rec community. And now, we're inviting strategic partners to co-create this story with us. As a partner, you'll gain 12 hours of annual live exposure with custom shows highlighting your expertise, polished 60-second promos refined for maximum impact, year-round visibility with dozens of replays across our media network, premium features in our newsletter, and amplified social media reach across LinkedIn, X, and Facebook. This is your chance to educate, inspire, and lead, while connecting directly with the professionals who build, budget, and buy for their communities. This is DPRS Media Co. Let's build the future of Parks and Rec together.
All right, so before we get started, JP, maybe you can help people understand what your original vision was for a monthly podcast that Henry Counted wanted to create and share with the world of Parks and Rec, what y'all do. What was kind of the original vision y'all had there?
Yeah, so originally we wanted to create an in-house podcast where we could tell our story, tell people about what we had going on, and to just educate people on Parks and Recreation and the business side of Parks and Recreation, in addition to all the fun offerings that we have for the community. It was a way for us to tell our story in I guess today's market kind of way. Everyone has a podcast, and so with all the different personalities that we have, it would be very fun and entertaining for people to watch what we had going on at Parks and Recreation in Henry County. And so we attempted it, and we did one recording, and then that did not go anywhere. We did not get past the editing stage of that, and we were able to link up with you, Mr. Craig LeBlanc, and get our dream off the ground. And we're so thankful and so grateful that we're able to share our story and what we do and how we do what we do at Henry County, and how that affects not only the residents of Henry County but everyone across the state and the nation.
Yeah. And it was a blessing for us to find y'all as well, because I knew I wanted to create a media platform for Parks and Rec to tell their story, but then I needed some stories to tell. And when I discovered y'all, I'm like, this is the perfect story. Let me just do all the back end stuff. and 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 it has been amazing. I think this is our fifth or sixth show with y'all that we do every. For those that don't know, this is a monthly show every second Wednesday of the month for an hour. We co-create the rec room with Henry County, Georgia, and each one has been a little different. The first was just meeting the team. JP's whole executive team got to hear all their stories. And we brought Donna on to tell the other leadership side and the accounting side. Who's in charge of accounting with y'all? That's
Michelle.
Michelle. And that's an area of Parks and Rec that we don't create hardly any content around, is how to the financing of it. And then we did a esports, which y'all have a great esports program. And today is going to be all about athletics, which is KP's world. And so I'm really excited to create content with y'all. Now, how long do we have you, JP? I know you're bouncing from one thing to the other.
Yeah, so I got maybe like 2 or 3 more minutes, and then it's all for KP and Ayanna. Ayanna is the newest member of our team, but we are super excited to have her. She's going to be a great asset to what we have going on. She has a wealth of knowledge. She's done this at another organization, managed athletics and other things as well. She's very intelligent, very experienced, and she's definitely going to be an asset to what we're doing and the vision that we have for our athletics division here at Henry County.
Yeah. Okay. Well, since we only have you a couple more minutes, you can kick off the show. And so, what's your message to athletics inside of a Parks and Rec department?
My message to athletics inside of Parks and Rec department is to make it about recreation and the kids. Nowadays, we get a lot of people that want to have like elite teams, elite programs, elite training, and all of these things. And a lot of times the rec kid gets kicked out of that. The kid that's really trying to learn and experience, for the first time, how to dribble a basketball, for the first time how to catch a football, or hit a baseball. And those kids are getting left out, and they're not being able to enjoy the sport because the coaches are tailoring it towards those elite kids. And to be quite honest, everyone isn't elite, but they want to treat everyone like they are that. And these travel teams and things like that, when we're forgetting about the rec kids, the kids that really just want to go out there, enjoy it, and have fun, and still be competitive, but just not to that level. And so let's get back to recreational sports.
Mhm.
Let's make sure that we're providing that service for everyone in the community, and not just the select few that have the skill to be on those elite travel teams.
Mm, fantastic message. 100% support that. I can tell you, I did get a full cheerleading scholarship, but I was the world's worst baseball player, football player, soccer player. I did play those sports, but man, if you were judging me on my skills in that, I would have never made the team. Thankfully, I was involved in rec sports early on, and the coaches were very patient with me. And turns out I got a scholarship that had nothing to do with any of the other sports I played in. So great message. Well,
And
JP, any
yeah,
closing?
the other thing is that we want to make sure that we're teaching the kids to be diverse in their sports experience. A lot of times, and I've read articles and I've talked to other professionals, and what we're starting to see now is that kids are getting these injuries that you wouldn't see typically in youth, but you're seeing it a lot more in youth now because of overuse. They're playing these sports year round every year, and they're not doing anything else to train other muscles, other ligaments, and things like that, and they're getting these injuries. And so we need multi-sport youth. Like they need to be experienced in other sports. And so I'm big on playing other sports, experiencing those other sports, providing the rec section for our rec individuals here in the community, but also still staying competitive. I'm a competitive person myself, so we also want to be competitive, but we want to provide the service to those individuals that may not be at that elite travel level.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for giving us the little bit of time you had hopping on the show today. Really appreciate your leadership and all that you're doing.
Thank you so much. And you're in great hands. They're going to be wonderful. KP and Ayanna are wonderful, and I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of the show.
Fantastic. Thank you, JP. Yep. Take care.
Thank you. Y'all have a great one.
You too, baby.
All right. So, Kevin, where do we want to start this off?
Oh, wow.
Maybe just run the numbers real quick. How many athletes come through y'all's program in a year?
I mean, just basketball alone, we have over 1,000 kids come through our basketball program. I don't even know off the top of my head, but it's a pretty big number that we have come through our program for youth athletics. I mean, right now we're in the midst of fall football and cheer and fall softball and baseball for our youth program. Our numbers did drop off this fall with our youth baseball and softball. We don't have the number of teams, but that goes back to what JP is saying. A lot of the kids are going and playing other sports and doing other experiences. So I applaud them, like not playing fall ball if they're playing something else, whether it's soccer or lacrosse, whatever they may be participating in this fall outside of baseball, because you have spring that comes back around. But we probably got about 40 to 50 plus thousand kids that come through our program easily.
Wow, that's amazing. Now, what do y'all do to bring on new sports like lacrosse or pickleball? Do y'all just not do those things, or you're trying to find ways to start bringing those?
We gauge the community. Right now, I mean, not dealing with youth, but I had a guy that plays in our adult softball program. Unfortunately, we didn't have enough teams to play a men's league this fall. He was like, man, have y'all ever thought about volleyball, like playing adult volleyball? I'm like, we discussed it, but it hasn't really went anyways. And if I can get the people, could we add adult volleyball? I said, look, if you can go get the people that we can at least have 4 teams, we'll look at trying to find a way to bring adult volleyball to Henry County. Mm-hmm. So it's pretty much listening to the community, trying to find ways to add those programs that the community wants, and make it fit our schedule, because we do have a lot of moving parts, rec centers, and we try to work with our rec centers and those supervisors because they have their programs that they have going on inside their program, and then just the fields and the parks. How do you manage those with all the different sports? But we rely on our community to bring us ideas or what they're wanting to try to add those programs.
Mm. Now, how did y'all find Ayanna? What's her story coming into this?
So Ayanna was at one of the agencies that's in our district, actually. So I've known Ayanna for a couple of years, meeting her at the district meetings that we have quarterly, primarily doing our athletic part. And when I posted the position, I actually didn't realize it was her that had applied until we did the interview. I'm like, oh, I know you. You leaving? Perfect. But I've worked with her when it comes to our swim, because they host a lot of the swim meets where she came from. So I knew she had a great background and great experience in running athletic programs and running the athletic department, and that's what I was looking for in my new athletic coordinator, somebody that had experience, knew sports, knew how to run programs, knew how to do schedules. So like JP said, she's going to be a great asset. We threw her to the fire a little bit. She, not even a month into the job, and she's already doing youth softball schedules and youth adult softball schedule and trying to meet everybody and get to know everybody. But she's handled it like a pro and professional, and she's done a great job since she came on board. I'm just proud of her and looking forward to all the great ideas she's going to bring to the team and share with us and vision that she has. So I'm looking forward to everything she's going to do. I know she's going to do great.
Fantastic. All right. So, and I know I asked you before, it's Ayanna, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So tell us your story from how you got into this. How did you get involved? Were you like a park rat that just grew up in this, or did you discover it later?
Yeah, well, pretty much. I grew up in Parks and Recreation. I'm from an area where Parks and Rec is huge, the Virginia Beach area. And so I grew up, this is all I know. I play sports. Um, I was always just in the, at the rec. You did everything. You swam, you met your friends, you made new friends, learned how to play table tennis. It was just a really, really cool opportunity to have for like a getaway, a safe place.
Mhm.
And when I went off to college, I then just somehow got right back into the same field, working with children in a underprivileged community, just trying to provide an outlook for them that was a safe haven where they really, really, really needed it. And that's where I kind of just found like the passion, um, providing programs and introducing opportunities to kids who never thought that they would have it before. And so that's kind of how I got into it. I went to school for recreation management, played basketball through school, and then went on over to the DC, Maryland area, worked for DC Parks and Rec, DC School Systems, Maryland Park and Recreation Commission. So I've been in it for a while. Decided to take a step to Georgia, work for a few different agencies here in Georgia. I've done different things from athletic side to recreation to programming to running facilities. So I kind of have had my hand on a few different sides of the recreation world. So I definitely this is where my love is, where my heart is. I've taught. I came back, and so this is definitely for me. What like kind of like what JP said. This is all I kind of know.
Now, what sports did you play in high school? And then did you say you played basketball in college?
Yeah. So actually, I started playing in middle school. I was granted the opportunity to go to a private school in middle school. And there I was able to experience field hockey, lacrosse. I was on the swim team. I played basketball. I ran track and field. So I kind of dabbled in everything to see, what I really enjoyed the most. And then I took a little bit more focus on basketball, although I actually was a pretty decent lacrosse and field hockey player. Basketball just kind of stole my heart. And so I continued on with basketball.
What position did you play?
Oh, I was shooting guard. I know I may look really tall in this seat here, but in real life,
yeah,
I'm only about 5'4", 5'5". So I was a shooting guard.
You were the 3-pointer, the sniper from the outside.
All day, and a defensive player. Defense wins games, offense sells tickets.
That's it. That's right. Now, how about in, how JP kind of had that message about playing multiple sports? Did that kind of serve you well as you came into your basketball career?
Absolutely. Being versatile, it just puts you in a different league. It sets you apart. I didn't suffer a lot of injuries growing up, probably because I did play multiple sports. I have 5 children. They range from 17 all the way down to 17 months.
Fantastic.
And I have one who only focused on football. His first year ever deciding to play another sport was last year. He got to play basketball. And he just felt he was so excited, like the look on his face to be introduced to something different, get that opportunity to woosah from the football. You know how intense it can get, especially JP mentioned the elite side. My kids play elite travel football. And so getting a break from that and having fun and really just stepping back into being a kid, I saw the benefit from it. I have another son who's played He's dabbled in everything: baseball, basketball, football, track and field. And you can see the difference in them and how they move and their understanding even of just like team sports overall. And I think it's super important for you to focus on, have a focus once you get to high school, but while you're in your youth, enjoy it. Enjoy, because you never know what you may actually be interested in if you never give it the opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah. Great message there. So KP, why don't you maybe describe the structure of the whole athletic department? How many people are in it? How many people like Ayanna do y'all have? And then we can go into the
So,
skills that you recruited her for.
yeah, so you have me. I'm the deputy administrator of athletics, and then underneath me, I have 3 athletic coordinators: Ayanna, Darrow, and Shali Devereaux. All 3 of them pretty much they oversee the different athletic programs, youth and adult, within Henry County. Ayanna oversees our youth softball and youth and adult softball programs. And then Daryl oversees the youth baseball and the youth basketball program. And then Shiley, he does our girls flag football program, and he's our adult pickleball. He oversees that. But all 3 of them and myself, we all work hand in hand to help each other out. And it's all hands on deck with our basketball program. Even though Daryl is the primary guy, all of us is all hands on deck because it's one of our biggest programs. And then we all work together to work with our youth associations to get documents on in time and to make sure we communicating with them what needs to be communicated with them from the Henry County athletic staff, and just building that partnership and that relationship between us and the association. So we all play a part in that role. And then we have scorekeepers, which we're recently have. I know scorekeeper, you think that that's all they're doing is keeping score. But they do that for our adult softball and youth basketball programs. But we have now started using them to be what we call site supervisors at our park, so that we have visibility at the park for practices and games. So there's a Henry County staff member at the park all the time. That way, if something happens, we have someone there that can address it right there immediately. That's something that hasn't been done in the past. That's something that we felt like needed to be done to give more visibility for parents and coaches, that they feel like, okay, they care, they out here, they care about the program, they want the program to be successful, and it gives them somebody they can go talk to if something does come up. And those scorekeepers, they communicate with us. They have a form they have to fill out and turn in every week so that we know about any issues that we can address immediately. Instead of waiting till 2 or 3 weeks later, we find out about it, whether it's a disgruntled parent or something on Facebook, and we find out about it later on. But we try to stay ahead of the game by having parts. And then I have a couple of they're part-timers, but they're like Reg A or Reg assistants. They do a lot of my tournaments. When we have tournaments that from outside agencies, they help us as the athletic department make sure those run smoothly. They're like point of contact.
Okay, so since we're close to the half-minute break, we'll go ahead and show those 2 promos. But during the break, I'd like each of you to think about, KP, what were some of the qualities that you look for in a good athletic coordinator, and how were you kind of sifting through all the applicants? And then Ayanna, what were some of the departments, like what kind of culture, what were you looking for to, throw your hat in the ring for Henry County, Georgia? What was attractive to you? And then we can kind of dive into that when we get right back. I'll play something for our, Youth Sports Mastery Show, which is a weekly show every Thursday. Aaron Locks, who has 40 years in youth sports, we do a weekly show all on youth sports with some of the best athletic directors, coaches across the country that highlights their careers, and it's everything youth sports. So that's tomorrow, 1:30 p.m. Eastern. and then I'll play something for Brian's crew, which is all the facilities maintenance people that keep this whole thing running. And then we'll come right back and finish up with KP and Ayanna.
At DPRS Media Co., we don't just create content, we elevate community through storytelling. Now, we're proud to introduce the newest addition to the family. Welcome to Youth Sports Mastery, the podcast where champions are shaped, not just on the field, but in life. Hosted by National Academy of Athletics founder Aaron Locks. Youth Sports Mastery dives deep into how youth sports can empower kids, strengthen communities, and build leaders. From coaching culture to recreation strategy, and from player development to parent impact, every episode brings game-ready insight from the people making it happen. Youth Sports Mastery goes live every Thursday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Only on the Daily Parks and Rec Show, sponsored by National Academy of Athletics and powered by DPRS Media Co. This is where purpose meets play.
Behind every thriving park, every safe playground, every event-ready field, there's a team working before sunrise and long after sunset. This is Facility Maintenance, the only show created for and by the unsung heroes of parks and recreation. Brought to you by DPRS Media Co., where real work gets real recognition. From restrooms to rec centers, HVAC to turf tech, we go beyond the job site into the heart of operations that keep our communities moving. Our mission? To elevate maintenance teams through stories, solutions, and shared experience. Our vision? A world where every facility crew is seen, valued, and fully supported. Each episode features operators, innovators, and leaders, sharing tools, tech, and tactics that make the impossible look easy. Facility maintenance isn't just a job. It's purpose, it's passion, and now it's a show. Facility Maintenance, where tools meet purpose, where work becomes legacy.
KP, we need to get you on that Thursday show.
Yeah.
I need to schedule that. Are you going to be in Orlando?
No, I would not be in Orlando. I'll be here because the following week, me and the family are going on a cruise. So
Going on a cruise.
Orlando, but yeah.
You'll be at the Georgia one, right?
Yeah, I'll be at the Georgia one. Yeah.
Okay. I'll connect you and Aaron, and maybe we can get y'all together. You'd be a perfect fit.
I'll be there at Georgia.
I may have to take your spot and go to Orlando, KP.
Go ahead.
How many people are y'all sending this year?
If all leadership, and I think one or two more people because they are presenting in our way. But all of the leadership go, and I think there's one or two more going because they're presenting with someone at NRPA.
Yeah. Okay, so to answer that question earlier, what do you look for in a good athletic coordinator?
What do I look for in a good athletic coordinator? I look for personality. I look for someone who has an outgoing personality, someone that's confident in themselves, good communication skills, and someone that's a team player. They're not just eye forward thinking person. They speak about team and collaboration. Someone that's very organized and diverse that can multitask or deal with certain situations, and someone that is a problem solver, because as you know, in athletics, we always trying to solve the problem at some point. And are you able to solve those problems, and how do you solve those problems? And lastly, someone that's willing to bring like as JP said, rec back to Parks and Rec. Are you able to say no? That's hard for a lot of athletic and people to do, because you're always getting asked and you always hear, well, it's a public park and I should be able to do whatever I want to do. But can you say no and stand on that word no and not be taken advantage of? So those are just some of the qualities I look for. And Ayanna, she checked every box. Not even really knowing her personally, but just knowing her professional. I knew she was organized. I knew she knew how to deal with schedules. I knew she knew how to deal with associations because she had them in her agency. So I knew organization wise and professional wise, she was a fit. And then just doing an interview with her and getting to know her on a personal side, it was a no brainer for me.
Yeah. And now, what's the brief job description? So if somebody were to come, let's say one of the other ones decides to retire, what's kind of the job description for those?
So the job description is working evenings and being able to work with youth associations, plan and organize a schedule, game schedule, work schedule, being able to collaborate with other departments to bring about certain events or programs. Can you develop a program? Can you budget a program? That's a huge piece for us in athletic is being able to budget our athletic programs so that we are not in the red, operating in the red. And if we can bring in revenue, that's great. But as we all know that we're not in this to make money. We're in this to provide a safe place and a fun place and somewhere for kids to learn and have fun. But we also don't want to bleed ourselves dry by over budgeting or overspending. So how do you balance a budget? Just some of the job description that I look for is someone's gonna have to be able to do. If a athletic coordination position comes available. I hope not anytime soon. I like my team. Have a good team. They all are very innovative. They got a lot of great ideas that I know we are going to continue to try to implement and bring to Harris County to bring better experiences to the county. And it's a challenge. I mean, Ayanna, she's seeing it. There's a lot of people that don't like change. They so used to doing it their way, and change is good. It's hard, but change is good. Like everybody has to go through changes. You can't grow if you stay in the same path or the same process. You have to change something in order to grow and get better. And that's what we try to do. We try to bring good change that help us grow, help our programs grow and thrive. I know one of the challenges that we are faced with and that we're trying to get a hold of is girl sports. The girls do not like playing sports and trying to figure out where they are at and how do we grow those programs, our girls sports program, because the numbers are low in all of our girls programs. So that's a challenge that we want to take on and figure out how to grow the girls programs here in Harris County to be making successful.
Yeah, and for those listening, I don't want y'all to think it's change for the sake of change. It's almost like you got iPhone 1 and you're trying to give birth to iPhone 2 and just iterate and iteratively getting better at delivering your services to the community. That's where the change comes from is version 2 superior at delivering that to version 1. And if you're resisting making an incremental superior change, that's where I think y'all kind of have something to say about.
That's what a button is coming.
Right.
So
Ayanna, what did they recruit you, find you, or did you were like, this is the kind of department I looked for. This is where I want to call home. Tell me about that journey.
I had been looking around, trying to make a change, and it came open. I'm like, dang, really? Is this really what it is? And so I was like, well, let me look at the position again. And so I looked at the position, I prayed on it. I talked about it. I really just thought long and hard because I'm not one to kind of like leave something that you kind of start. And that's what I felt like I was doing. I felt like I was leaving without leaving unfinished business. in recreation, but especially in the athletic world, timing is everything. So leaving a position in August at the beginning of a season, ending the not completely ending the swim season, the aquatic season, but it was just crucial. And so I was just looking for somewhere where I can grow, somewhere that I was surrounded by like-minded people. Teamwork is huge to me. I can be an independent person, but there's nothing like working with a team. Nothing like working around like-minded people who actually see your vision or listen and are open, and those changes and things like that, are willing to hear it, because we're the ones out there in the street doing the work, we're the boots on the ground, next to facilities. And so we see a lot of the things that happen or going on, or things that can use a change, things that are working, things that aren't working. And so I just wanted to be surrounded by a group of individuals who felt the same way.
Mm.
And I kind of already knew, once I got in the room, who KP were. I knew who JP were. And so it was good to see familiar faces who I knew had some great things about them.
How long have you been with Henry County?
A month.
Wow, so this is very new. How is it
Yes.
so far? Have you been to the what do y'all call it again? The morning breakfast.
The Breakfast Club. Yeah,
Breakfast
she ain't been to the club yet. So she's at North Mount Carmel, which is our newest rec center, where she's housed at her as far as the office. But we're gonna have to get her to come to Breakfast Club. So she ain't made it to Breakfast Club yet. So Ayanna, you're gonna have to swing by here this one morning between 8 and 9 and join Breakfast Club.
Yeah. Have you met Thomas yet, and Brian and the rest of the team?
Yes. Brian, that's somebody that I want to stay really, really, really close with.
Yeah.
They make things work. And so I've always had a loads of respect for my facilities department, because without them, I know what it's like. I've lined fields by myself. I've done everything that you can think of. So I much, much, much appreciate them. So Brian, absolutely. And Thomas, I know Thomas because I did have opportunities to participate pretty heavily in GRP. So
Yeah. So maybe say a little bit about how the athletics department uses the facilities maintenance department. Y'all can each speak on this. KP, would you like to go first?
So ask the question again.
How do you use your facilities maintenance crews to help do what y'all do?
So right now they pretty much prep our fields for our adult softball games during the day. So our fields are ready to go in the evenings. And then for the rest of our program, it's just making sure that the fields are cut during the week, so the athletic fields look ready to go. But Brian, guys, if there's something that comes up, lighting issues, scoreboard issues, fencing issues, anything that is a safety issue with our athletic fields, I get with Brian or get with his staff and say, hey, can y'all take a look at this? When we get work orders from the association, when they see something that needs to be addressed, and I get it to Brian, his guys, they go and take care of what needs to be taken care of and make sure that our parts and our athletic fields are safe and playable. The other thing I like about Brian and his guys is I listen to them when it comes to inclement weather. If they say don't get on the field because they're too wet, I'm sending out emails to everyone saying, per Brian Dixon, who's my deputy administrator for parks, we're not getting on the fields. When he's overseeing the fields, if he say, hey man, can you get them to go to turfs instead of getting the cleats? Hey, I need y'all to be in turfs for a couple of weeks because Brian got just seeded the field and we try to have beautiful green grass come spring. So I mean, we communicate, we work together. They do an amazing job of keeping our fields looking great. So
now, did you see his recent four-legged employees that he released?
Yeah, and that's amazing, eco-friendly. And he just posted another picture video today. I seen they pretty much cleared that whole hill in 5 days.
Man, tell people a little bit about it. I just saw a short clip, and I want to get him to say it. But
So Brian got with this company where they bring out goats. As you know, goats pretty much will eat anything. So
not a few goats. It looked like about 50 goats.
Yeah, about 50 goats. So there's this company, they'll put up a perimeter, but they'll bring out goats, and basically the goats will eat up all the vegetation where it's kudzu or it's hard to get in with lawnmowers or equipment to cut it and make it look clean and neat. They bring in goats, and the goats will literally eat it all up for you, and that's what we're doing. We started out at Cochran Park, and Brian is just gonna move them around to different parts where we can't get to certain areas with lawnmowers or equipment to cut it. We're just gonna let the goats go at it and take care of it for us.
Yep, and those are fully autonomous lawn vehicles.
Yeah, no gas, no repairs, like
no complaints.
Yeah. So it was good to see. I mean, I'm waiting to see where he's taking them to next. But where he had them at to start out, there's a hill, it's a bank, and you can't get equipment up there. Like there's no way to get anything up there to cut it or to maintain it. So that was a great idea by Brian by doing that, and it's worked out great. And plus people in the park, they walk around, kids, they see it, they like, oh, cool. Like it's so it was neat. It was something, a great experience, and kudos to Brian and his team for taking the lead on that.
Yeah, I love it. So Ayanna, how do you use your facility maintenance crews, or how have they been useful to you to help you do what you do?
Well, I mean, in this experience, they're amazing. I mean, just lining the fields. We started our first adult softball game on Monday. I mean, the fields are lined, ensuring that our there's working lights in the fields, dugouts, fences, benches, bleachers, working scoreboards, clocks, all of those things are essential for us to be able to operate. And they're doing them. Ideally, that's, the way that I have always seen the facilities department, parks and recreation, they're the parks to the recreation side. And just helping us maintain those things. I know a lot of people who've never done it before think that it's probably an easy job to line a field. You just see lines on a field. But when you go out there and you do it, it's it's not as easy. I mean, getting the string and making sure that it's lined up with the foul pole, and making sure that your lines aren't crooked. The first time I did it, my lines were like this. When I stepped back and when I was at home plate, I'm like, this is pretty bad. This is why I stay in my lane.
Right.
But, I mean, they're just an amazing group of individuals with a wealth of knowledge on, like you said, field maintenance. I mean, KP hit some of those important things, making like if they're trying to change the grass over, soccer uses different grass for different times of the year. The same with your infields, making sure that they don't have lips and things of that nature. And so when they're giving us advice, it's vital for us to, follow that. If they have certain seeding down, if you're running through it with your cleats, it's going to do what? It's going to eat the seeds up. It's going to remove them. And so just working together hand in hand to ensure that we can provide the facilities for the community to use. And they look good when you're out there. It's nothing like walking into one of your facilities and seeing it not only being used and utilized by your community and the public, but like it just looks really good. You're like, dang, that grass is green, or who lined those fields? Because you notice it, just like you notice when a line is crooked. You're like, oh, they must have had the kids do those today.
Yeah.
So it's just they're just a huge part of day-to-day operations for me.
And another thing I'll say about Brian, guys, is like we do a lot of events and programs in athletics. Like we have our all-star event, we have our spelling bee, and in August we did our Henry Choice Awards. Those guys come in and they help set up the stage and help set up stuff for us for those events. So it's not just the athletic side of it is our events and our programs that we do to try to recognize our athletes. They come help set up for those kind of programs. So I definitely thank Brian and his staff for what they do, because they go above and beyond to make sure that in athletics we have what we need and things are taken care of.
Yeah.
Even with the employee appreciation last week,
Yeah.
just general needs on a day to day. They're there setting up. They're there at 6 o'clock in the morning. They're putting out coolers for employee appreciation. It's employee appreciation, right? I mean, just a multitude of things that they do that aren't just, like I said, just on the athletic side, just pure, just helping with day-to-day operations for recreation as well. And I mean, for just the entire county also, there could be things that are done in multiple other facilities that they're used for.
Yeah. All right. So as we're coming towards the back end of our show, one of the traditions we have is, now traditionally I ask a park and rec director to give a testimony to young kids to potentially consider this industry, dedicate your life to. But what I'd like y'all to do is give a testimony to working in athletics inside of park and recreation. Imagine you have a group of undecided college kids or part-time workers, and you have an opportunity to give a testimony to what you do in athletics inside of Parks and Rec department. What would that testimony be? Ayanna, why don't you go first, and then we'll do KP after.
It's Parks and Recreation. Who doesn't want to work for Parks and Recreation? I mean, we are the fun. I mean, you can live out every dream that you had as a child working in Parks and Recreation. If you want to go in the gym and play basketball and airball every layup or free throw or whatever you want, you can do it. You can start a new program. You can give back to your community, whether it's an underserved community or whether it's a thriving community. You can give back. You can show up and just be a huge voice in starting, young kids all the way up to those, we call them seniors, but I call them our wiser folks, getting them back in there, back actively moving. You'll see we have a 50 plus over softball league. Pickleball is full of 50 and above. I mean, it's just phenomenal to just come to work every day, wake up and know that you're actually changing someone's life in some way. And it could be something that's small to you, but huge to others. And so Parks and Recreation and athletics is the place to be, the place to go, the place to work, to play. It doesn't feel like a job when you walk through the door. It's fun, it's motivating. And I mean, it's the place to be.
Love it. I love it. All right, KP.
Well, if you have ever grew up in Parks and Rec and you have been a part of an opening day ceremony where the grill is going, you got the parade, you got the bouncy houses, you got mom, dad, grandparents coming out to see you play that first day, you want to be in Parks and Rec, because every season you're going to have that kind of environment at some point, whether it's baseball, softball, youth football, soccer. There's going to be some big event where it's going to remind you of your youth and growing up in Parks and Rec. And just that ability to impact kids, that's that ability to mentor kids that, may need it. I'm always walking around in the parks and having conversations with kids, having conversations with parents, and just giving my experience, because you never know who you're going to impact. And every day I wake up to, what is my why? Why did I wake up this morning to come to Henry County Parks and Rec? But what is my why for today? Well, it's easy: to change somebody's life today, whether it's a youth or adult, whoever it may be. That interaction could mean a lot to someone while you're out in the Parks and Rec system in the evenings, throughout the day. Just that interaction could change somebody's life. So that's why I feel like, if you have a passion for sports and a passion for impacting your community, Parks and Rec is the career for you. because you get to do it every single day that you wake up and come to work.
Yeah. Yeah. And unfortunately, so often in life, you have to wait till the end of your career and retirement till you start giving back. But in Parks and Rec, on day one, you're
Yeah.
giving back and making a difference. You don't have to spend the best years of your life working some desk. You get to start at 20 years old giving back. So great testimony. Thank y'all so much for that.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so another tradition we have is our previous guest, Sean Seidel. He is a state park ranger from Tennessee, and this is the question he left y'all too.
Oh, wow.
How much is technology going to play in how we run our parks and interact with our guests? What impact do you think it's going to have?
Great question. Ayanna, you go first.
Technology is huge. I would hope it doesn't affect how we interact with our guests. My vision is to hope that it allows us to have more interaction, and technology can do more of the other things. You're not spending as much time doing the behind the scenes stuff. If we're going to use technology, let's use it in that way, and then we can be have more face-to-face interactions. I actually had an opportunity to use a tiny bot to line fields, which meant that I didn't have to spend time doing that. I could spend time doing other things. So I was able to go out to the athletic fields and the parks and chat with community. So my hope is that if we're going to use the technology, let's use it for the things that can put us more face to face. Will allow us to have more face to face interactions and be able to not be doing some of those other things that if we're going to use technology that it can possibly do.
Yep. KP?
It's funny that this question was asked because JP constantly asks this question in our supervisor meeting is, what will technology look like in the next 5 or 10 years for Henry County Parks and Rec? So for me right now, AI and Chat GPT is huge. One of the things that we are currently working on is using AI cameras to capture live stream of our game so that we can take that footage and create content, highlight reels or showcase a play on our platform. So using AI to do live streams, and it's the platform we're trying to use. The camera it keeps up with the activity of the game. So it's like you're sitting right there watching the game, and I could be in Florida, logged in, watching my grandson play up in Tennessee. So that's using that technology to bring live streaming to people, parents and grandparents that are not able to get out to the parks. We have our elders that are of age and they're not able to make it out to see their grandson or their granddaughter play. So that's something that we're trying to bring to Henry County. We are in talks with a company to do that. So hopefully within the next year or two, we will have that set up and going to provide to our community. So, but I think technology is going to be good. Like Ayanna said, I don't want it to interfere with our interaction, but I think it's a tool that can be used to allow other opportunities to see growth and connection with the community.
Fantastic. Well, let me know when you'll get that stream set up. I can eventually pump it out to our network, and that way we can show what y'all are doing nationwide and have a little baseball game or something. That'd be great. All right. So any closing remarks that y'all'd like to tell the world of Parks and Recreation from Henry County, Georgia Athletic Department?
Just know that Henry County Athletic is coming to be the #1 athletic department in the country. That's our goal. That's what we're striving for. We're not there yet, but that's our goal. That's our vision. That's what we're aiming for. If you don't aim for that, then what are you coming to work for? So our goal is to be the #1 athletic department in the country, and we're working towards that daily. So I just want everybody to know that coming soon, y'all will know of Henry County Athletic as being the best athletic brand department in the country.
Fantastic. What a great goal. Ayanna, you have any closing remarks?
No, I think he hit it. He nailed it on the head. I mean, we're good. We're gonna need the standard.
That's it. She's all on board with winning and being the number one.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Well, guys, thank y'all so much for coming on the show today. I love creating content with Henry County, Georgia professionals. The Rec Room is just going to be one of the best, I guess, online podcasts for Parks and Recreation, and I think that's part of it is just putting yourself out there, attempting to be the best. You got a much better chance of getting it than if you never even try. So, applaud y'all's efforts, and thank y'all so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you, Craig.
Thank you.
Y'all take care, guys. Have a great day.
All right, you do the same.
Thank you.
All right, so another great show with the Rec Room. That's Henry County, Georgia. And I like how JP kind of laid out in the beginning what their intention was. Is when you have a good leader that just says we're going to climb that mountain, and then they just get busy doing it. And so they're not all talk; they're all about execution and striving to be the best, setting a great example, and then even recording a monthly podcast onto how it's going and sharing all their secrets and their ambition to serve their community at the highest level. So I really applaud Henry County, Georgia for helping us to co-create this. So this is something that we do, the Daily Parks and Rec Show and DPRS Media Company, in collaboration with Henry County, Georgia, is to produce a monthly podcast called The Rec Room. And it's just highlighting the careers and the how-tos of how to build or what it looks like for a team like Henry County, Georgia, to go for it, to go for being the best in the country. And I'm so honored that we found each other and we're able to say, hey, we will do all the back end promotions, we'll do all the media, the video editing, and even the distribution. And then we give all this content back to them so they can promote it just in their local community. But then it also blasts out the message and the practices and the wisdom that they have nationwide, so that if you're a park and rec department looking to see best practices, you can actually have a living, breathing example monthly where you get to see the whole leadership team. And it's not just JP and just talking about it. It's he'll bring in his CFO, and we talk about the accounting side. Just like you saw, we'll bring in KP and Ayanna to talk about what they're doing in athletics. We have Brian Dixon talking about how do we maintain all this stuff as far as facility maintenance. We have Thomas that's just a wrecking ball that's just coming in and driving everything that JP wants to do, from internship programs to being very active in the state and national associations. And then you get to hear from Donna and JP about how they execute on doing this. So it really is a great monthly show. It's an honor to help them co-produce it, and I think we're just going to keep this going indefinitely. So again, I'd like to thank our sponsors, Outdoor Link, National Academy of Athletics, and we've got at least, I think we're approaching 20 other businesses, vendors that serve this industry that want to help us co-create content for this industry. We're in negotiations with a lot of them, but we still have a few open spaces. So if you are interested in helping to, it's a heavy lift, creating a 24/7 program for the Parks and Rec industry. We need all the help we can get. And so we're looking for a few solid vendors and strategic partners. If you're interested in that, hit me up on LinkedIn. Those conversations are going on right now. I'm assuming we'll have all of this filled by the end of the year. So we've only got a few short months left to do that. But hit me up on LinkedIn and let's start that conversation. Again, we have a great program we're going to be airing live from the NRPA convention Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I think we're up to about 40 interviews, just short 15, 20-minute interviews from people all over the country descending on Orlando. And while you're there, if you see anybody with NRPA working hard, please thank them. This is an amazing event that they put on every year. I've never been to an NRPA national event that I just wasn't blown away by, from the vendor hall to the nighttime events, to all the offsite events, to the breakout sessions, to the big events they have, opening event, closing events. They just do an amazing job and have been doing it for a long time. So if you are somewhere in this country and haven't had a chance to attend one, you need to put it on your bucket list to attend and really try to get your professionals to these events. But if you can't make those, just remember that the state events are doing the same thing, just at a much smaller level for their local state events. And I encourage you to get as many of your Parks and Rec professionals to these events because they can learn so much. They connect with people that are facing the same problems, and you really get a lot done in a short 3-4 day period. And they really get to experience the family and camaraderie and the culture, the esprit de corps of Parks and Recreation. And that is starting here next week. So it's go time. I know the NRPA people are working their tail off this week, putting on the finishing touches because it's go time starting Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Big event in Orlando happening. So hope to see y'all there. If y'all see me with some big light operation and cameras and microphones, try to catch me between shows and stuff. I'd love to, take a picture with y'all, shake y'all's hand and meet y'all in person. It really is an honor to serve the community in this way as we build out the platform for the Parks and Rec industry. Love what we're doing. And thank y'all so much for all the love and support that y'all are sending our way. We'll see y'all here again tomorrow. We have our leadership show. It's 12 noon. And then, of course, we have our Youth Sports Mastery show that Aaron Locke puts on every Thursday, 1:30 p.m. Eastern. This is Craig LeBlanc, the doorman, signing off for another great episode of The Rec Room. See y'all here again tomorrow. Thank you, guys. Love you. Bye.
Are you a vendor, brand, or service provider ready to connect with the heartbeat of local communities? At DPRS Media Co., we tell the stories shaping parks and recreation across America. Through podcasts, live streams, videos, and newsletters, we reach frontline leaders, city directors, and decision makers every single week. From youth sports and facilities to programming and policy, our audience is your audience. Sponsoring or partnering with DPRS Media Co. puts your brand in front of the professionals who build, budget, and buy for their communities. Launching a new product, growing your presence in public spaces, targeting cities, counties, or departments, DPRS is your trusted media partner. Whether you're in software, turf, aquatics, robotics, smart cities, or special events, partnering with DPRS puts your brand in the story. With commercials, interviews, social campaigns, newsletters, and live shows, we're your media team. Partner with us and grow your impact in the $200 billion Parks and Rec industry. DPRS Media Co. Stories that move Parks and Rec forward. Your audience is here. Let's meet them.